So let me tell you about Scott Galloway's his hot take, which I just found to be unbelievably bad. His take was that what's happening in Iran obviously is very important, and that America should care about it because of the massive amount of hatred towards women that happens under the current Ayatollah's regime. All valid, agreed, right? Because like you can't call yourself a feminist if you're not super concerned about this. Agreed, right? However, he thinks that the U.S. should intervene and help, and should intervene and help, like sort of turn the tide and like help get this regime out of there. And I'm like, have we learned nothing from Afghanistan in the 1980s? Like, we gave weapons to the Mujahideen so that they could help turn the tide and fight off the Russians, because like the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of shit. And Mujahideen turned right the fuck around and was like, cool, thanks for the weapons. We ran those guys off. That's awesome. Now we're coming for you. And it was like, and by the way, now we're going by a different name. Thanks for putting us at the end of Rocky 3 or Rambo 3. We appreciate it. Right. So like, such a
and the Living Daylights as well. We weren't the only ones.
Yes,
so.
The Brits were like, doing fucking great. This definitely will not bite us in the ass years from now. So like all that being said, his idea is like, we got to go in there. I think we could go in there and, I mean, he was like literally like, we'll be greeted as liberators. And I'm like, they know that the reason that they're in this shit now is because of us, right? Like, if you're unaware, and I know you're aware of this, but like, if you're unaware of like even remotely recent Iranian history, like we helped put the Shah in power that brought upon this like religious dark ages that happened in Iran. They were fucking cool, bro. They wore fucking blue jeans and drove sports cars and were totally fine. We wanted control. We wanted to put our influence and control into Iran. So we put in the Shah, who was brutal to them. They have not forgotten this. You support them by giving them weaponry and all this other shit. They're going to dispose of these pieces of shit, which they should. And then they're going to go, let's turn our ire right back to America, you pieces of shit. You should stay the fuck out of it, is what you should do. Let them, if they topple these guys, great. If they don't, it's unfortunate. But if somebody else wants to support it, cool. America, we should not be involved in this. This is a bad idea.
Well, and the other to happen. And one of the other reasons I think that we backed off of the saber rattling is because fucking Israel and the other Gulf states were just like, yeah, please don't do this. Like that would be really, really destabilizing to the region, which is already like partially destabilized as it is. So maybe don't attack Iran. That would be very bad.
Yeah, that's a big bad. Like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do it. But again, that's the bullshit of like, we got a military, we should go in there and use it. It's like, there are other implications if we step in to what this can become. And let's say we are greeted as liberators. So now we're moving our troops in, and how are we getting out exactly? Right? Because we're afraid they're coming for us now. What happens when we're trying to blow up their shit, boots on the ground? You putting boots on the ground there? And this idea of like, we should do this because women are being treated like garbage. Look, I agree with you. Why don't we go next door to Saudi Arabia and talk to them? Oh, right.
That's right.
Fuck about that.
Because we're BFFs.
Right, right. And he had this whole thing, which I thought was complete and utter bullshit, of like, when it comes to, the bad guys, like the left, and like he's on the left. He's just not like crazy far left. He was like, us on the left have a hard time wanting to deal with the bad guys if they're brown. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, we don't have a problem with going after people if they're brown on the left. We have a problem with throwing our country into a massive 20-year quagmire when we're not going to get anything out of it. Like, I would love to go in there and like punch the Ayatollah in the face like it's a fucking cover of a Captain America comic book, right? But that's not the end of it. Like, it's never going to be the end of it. We're always going to get pushed. Like, what happens to the Iranian Republic Guard or whatever? Where do those people go? Are they suddenly going to be like, yeah, we're all cool with this? Or are they going to fucking push back harder and kill more citizens and kill our troops? So then we got to put more troops in.
Again, you don't have to. You just have to go back 20 years. You just have to go back 20 years.
It's not easy to see. You don't even have to go to the beginning. Like, you could just go to the tail end of it. You know what I mean? Like,
that was a less complicated situation than Iran would be.
Right. Like, don't do that.